going on, Jerome's? Puka Nacua in year 2 has become a beast in the National Football League. He's one of the most physical receivers in the game. Could be a major part of the Rams' offense against the Vikings wild card weekend on Monday night. And Puka's he's really freaking good, right? And of course, who taught him to be good? Oh yeah, back at BYU, Jaron Hall, the Mormon missile. Perhaps you heard of him. Good times, man. But Puka, last time was a huge part of the Rams' alleged win against the Vikings. 7 for $106 on 9 targets. Also had 2 carries. Picked up a couple first downs. Was just a bully out there as part of the Rams, again, alleged 30-20 win. And it's going to be public enemy number 1. Cooper Kupp is still good, but age is sort of caught up to the pride of Eastern Washington. But Puka certainly is viable, and he's going to be the guy that the Vikings have to shut down if they want to get a win on Monday night. Long story longer. So Flores had some interesting comments about the last time the Vikings played the Rams Week 8 and how there wasn't a lot of prep time for Puka, who is coming back from an injury. Now, I know that a lot of fans are going to be really upset about this, but it's just a time constraint thing. It's a Thursday Night Football thing. It's a Rams playing with the injury report thing. It's all that stuff. So here's what Flores said. Alec Lucy, Athletic. Also, very interesting, Vikings DC Brian Flores admitted that the team was scrambling before Rams game earlier this year with Puka Nacua active. Said they hadn't expected it given Nacua was just returning from 21-day window. And I understand. How come you didn't install 2 full game plans if you played or if you didn't? Or why don't you prepare for blah, 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 blah. But nah, it's just obtuse to think of that the Vikings would be able to do that given the time restraints. So let's timeline this. So week 1, Puka injures his knee against the Lions, goes on injured reserve, which the Lions and pass catchers and knees, I think we know. Right. So he goes on injured reserve, misses the 4 weeks plus. And overall, like during that time, it was seen as a pretty significant knee injury. And the Rams were at 2-4 heading into the Vikings game. So they were in desperation mode. Right. So it would behoove them to think that, I don't know, maybe Puka would be back. Maybe they would rush him back onto the field. And if they did that, he wouldn't be 100%. Maybe he would be, frankly, a liability on the offense, and as well as maybe a potential decoy. At best, given the way that the Rams had sort of played with this thing. And then, Vikings Rams played on Thursday night. Short week. The Vikings had just played the Lions. And then Tuesday afternoon, they open up his window to return. And then he practices on a Tuesday and Wednesday. In their walkthroughs, list says limited, list says questionable heading into the game. And then 3 p.m. Central Time on Thursday, Puka is activated. And timeline-wise, I don't know, I know that it's Thursday night and everything is condensed, but you shouldn't be able to activate a player to your roster just hours before the start of a game. It's kind of ridiculous there, but it's beside the point. But like I said, short week. And here's something about Thursday Night Football, why the quality is not usually that great, because there's no time to practice. You get 0 formal practices if you play on Sunday into Thursday night. You maybe get 2 walkthroughs. Maybe. And one of them is usually just going to be like, whatever. So there's barely time enough for one game plan. And that's why, Thursday Night Football, it generally isn't the most creative or most interesting from a game planning standpoint. Basically, just show up and play. Right, so there's barely time for one game plan, let alone 2, and a couple contingency game plans. And like I said, the Rams played with the injury report. They're just like, he's limited, and then wait until the last final second. It's gamesmanship, perfectly legal. Respect McVay for doing it, but that's one of the reasons why the Vikings were. I know people are going to be mad, but say that the Vikings are caught flat-footed. But again, everything indicated that Puka was not 100%, that he wasn't going to play on Thursday, and then all of a sudden, And then, of course, he's at 100%. And he goes full-on beast mode, right? And in terms of preparation, what did you want Flores to do? Did you want Flores to prepare for Puka? Which, by the way, a game plan for Puka in the lineup is a lot different than if Demarcus Robinson or Tutu Atwell is the wide receiver too. It's kind of ridiculous there. But, the Vikings were literally en route to the stadium when the Puka news was activated. They're going to go out there a couple hours before the game, a pregame workouts. Like, Flores is just going to change things around. Nah, I think that's more inviting disaster. You roll with the plan that you got, and, it didn't work out. So it is what it is. But, hey, guess what? We know the Puka is playing on Monday, and there's been plenty of time to prepare, and definitely going to take out wide receiver 1, but not like the Lions do. Yeah. Yeah. So does any of this matter in the grand scheme of things? No, absolutely not. Right. But it's just something that I know that people are cranky after week 18, but this is not one of those things. And expecting the Vikings to be fully prepared, have two different game plans, nah, that doesn't make any sense. But we're going to have a damn good game plan for Monday night. I think Flores and the defense going to shut down the Rams, going to whoop that ass, and going to move on to round 2 and go from there. But your thoughts are thoughts. Flores admitting that the Vikings kind of scrambling, preparing for Puka Nacua for the Week 8 matchup on Thursday Night Football. Let us know your thoughts, our thoughts, comment section. You guys know what to do. Skull production value.